Good evening, everyone. Today is a special emission from Shortcutz Mozambique. In fact, we will be entering a new country in our last emissions for the year. Today, we have the pleasure to enter, in fact, Tanzania from the view of a Dutch filmmaker. So we're going to move between 2 or 3 countries today. With me, I have Immercio. I believe, Immercio, can you turn on your camera? No, Immercio is gone. I think the connection is not very good in Mozambique today. Either way, just a very quick thank you for our sponsors, particularly Camões, the German Institute of Culture, and also Wonderland from Austria, for allowing this season to continue and to end in such a fine way. I think we can already introduce our guest today. He's in fact a connection from Shortcutz Amsterdam. He won, I believe, Best Documentary 1 or 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And we're very happy to have him here. And I think it's the first time we have someone from the chapter of Amsterdam. So let us welcome Almicheal into our chat.
Hello.
Hi, Almicheal.
How are you?
Which city are you now? By curiosity.
I'm in Eindhoven right now.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So you're facing the same bad weather as in Rotterdam.
Yes, it's bad out there.
Yeah. No, thank you again for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
I saw the ceremony where you won the award. Was it 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago. Yeah, I think it was 2 years, 2019, if I'm correct.
Yeah. And I think we were all struck by your shortcut, and at the moment we thought it was quite also important to at least show it in Mozambique, because we know that it's very relatable to Mozambique. And throughout these years, in fact, after seeing your shortcut, we became more aware of this situation. Yeah, but maybe we can start a bit on how you, let us say, this was. We'll talk about the shortcut later, yeah. But yeah. I was thinking of how did you, in fact, come to cinema? And usually people come from one area or another. Just want to know what brought you to this movie. In fact, it was your first one, so maybe we can talk a bit.
Yes.
What happened before?
So I think what brought me to cinema was due to my mother. And due to my imagination, oh, give me 1 sec. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. My bad. I had neighbors. So yeah, due to my mother and due to my imagination, back in the day, my mother would like sneak me and her into cinemas. Like we would go to one. We'll pay for one movie. And afterwards, my mother would like program it that we could go to another one. So when the movie was done, we'd sneak to another movie and watch it there, and it'd keep on continuing the whole day. And back home, I was always playing with toys and making scenarios in my head, like how this could be. And because I was watching movies, I had those ideas also. And gradually, through college, I started really getting more interested, or at least it was coming back to me. And it actually started with acting. I wanted to do I was doing acting back in the day, so that's really something I really wanted to do. But for some reason, that didn't happen, and that I took another path in the same like film career or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, pretty much like that. And then just watching, falling in love with like things like I really want to make that, or I'm really interested in that subject or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Did you start in photography at the same time or before?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I think I mean, I think I started with like more like making movies with my friends. That kind of died out because I was growing up, so my interest kind of shifted away from that. Then in school, I had like a program in photography, and then I started doing photography for a year, and then because of that, I got into film again, and then I gradually just went into film full on, and then I graduated and all that. So yeah.
No, it's interesting. By the way, we have with us Emercio. He's part of the team also. Hi, Emercio. Good evening. Connection is not very good today in Maputo.
Good evening. Yes, today we have a weather. It's a little bit thundering. It's poorly raining, so that's why the internet may be a little bit slow. But I'm well. How are you, Michael? It's a pleasure to know you.
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah, it's a pleasure because speak for a filmmaker to a filmmaker, because I'm a filmmaker as well. So it's very, very excited to
Yes.
be here with you today. And I'm very excited for this first section. It will be very, very, very interesting. Very
Yes,
nice.
it would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, for the audience currently watching on YouTube, you are invited, of course, to also participate today in English. So I think it's our probably second session in English, but we thought it will take some time until Michael learns Portuguese. So
I can understand a little bit.
Or for us to speak Dutch, right?
Yeah.
But although my Dutch is not that bad, but still. No, we usually have a question that we ask filmmakers, which is what is the movie that in fact brought you to cinema, or the movie that really, let us say, there's a before and after for you. You said you watch movies with sneaking, or your mother would sneak you into more movies. So maybe one of these movies have had this impact. We're just curious.
No, because I don't remember those movies because it was back in the day. But there are two movies that which kind of impacted me in a way that I was like, yes, this is what I want to do the same way. And there are two movies. One is called documentary. Both of them documentary. One is called Virunga. Virunga. It's about a national park in Africa, about the gorillas, and it's a Netflix film, and it's about the story about the rangers fighting to keep these animals safe. And it's a very touching story about how far man can go both ways. So I'm talking about the good side, I'm talking about the bad side, and these people risking their life for outsiders might just be animals, but for them it's like it's their family, it's their purpose, why they're there. Like the whole meaning of like life. They know they were born to do this, so they will risk their life to protect animals. And it's a very touching story about that, like the human side of it. And there's another documentary called Dear Zachary, A Letter to My Father, and it's about humans, about the interaction with humans, about good and evil, about how bad people can be, but also how good people can be. And I remember finishing the movie, and it left me sick for a couple of days because it broke my heart, like seeing this. And it was a story about people I didn't even know, like they were living on the other side of the country, but the fact that they can make me feel this certain way was the same thing I wanted to do with my films. Make it more like tangible, make it more recognizable, and making people feel something. Like if you can find a movie good or bad, that's an opinion. But if you can feel something, that's more important to me if a movie is good or bad. So those were the movies that really struck a nice, yeah.
Yeah, we've noticed that usually the favorite movies are directly related to how the director performs afterwards or chooses his pieces. By the way, for the audience, I think the movie is this one, Dear Zachary, A Letter to a Son.
Yes, that's the one.
His father. So, have you seen this
one?
Watch
on YouTube, I think.
Okay, we'll try to see it. Have you seen this one, Emercio, or?
No, I never saw this movie. I would like to see it. Yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, we have received some messages just to keep the interaction. This is our partner in this emission, Freestyle Talkz. So another great African movie. In fact, we have been in South Africa, Angola, and now we will be in Tanzania. So it's been a great moment. Also from Kayla, she's now tuned in. Thank you, Kayla, for watching. No, I'll let now. Of course, Himesh has some questions. I'll let him also
Yes.
before we see the short.
Yes. Yes, Almicheal. As a filmmaker, we have the time that we decide to make movies, the day of the decision that we say, now I want to start making movies. So what was what makes you to decide to be a filmmaker? What was the feeling or the situation, something that happened that day that you decided, no, I want to start making movies. From today on, I want to start to be a filmmaker. And how was the experience of making the first movie?
Yeah. I think the urge always been with me, but because of that, making movies is a way for me to communicate, to talk. So in that sense, it was always there. Making the movie, like actually making it, was me trying to communicate that I want to make movies. So it's all about communication. So I feel something, like when I make movies, or when there's a subject or something and I want to tell, I usually follow by my gut, my feeling towards the subject. So it's kind of like a philosophical way, but in that sense, it's really hard to like say what I want to tell. So in that, I need to show you. So I need to make it. So that's why it's always been there. It's just like lingering in the background, waiting to strike, and the urge, the feeling coming up again and telling me, you know what? Do you want to say something about this? And if you do, well, let's make a movie then, So, and I also think that it's, I also felt, besides being a filmmaker, I always felt that it's a moral duty as a human being to say something if you think something is wrong. And that combination with making movies, I think it's a really nice combination, because you can really be like, you could be like really political about something, or you could be really vague about something, but at least you can say something about something you really want to, evoke or say to other people. Like, and I don't want to write books. I want to make movies. I want to tell you something. I want to show you something, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Okay. So you find a way to express your feelings through your movie, right?
Yes.
Like the singers, they express their feelings through singing.
Yeah.
And the filmmakers, they express their feelings making movies, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Funny thing is that I wanted to be a singer back in the day, so maybe that's
really?
something. Yeah. it didn't work out, but I really wanted to do it.
Yeah. And make part of the movie, right?
Yes.
Yes. Right.
Yeah. No, I have a quick question. Is since we're going to this movie was filmed in Tanzania, and this was also your, I think, graduation movie. Oh my God. Yes. So I mean, usually for graduation works, you do, you go to your backyard and do something. But in your case, you did something quite very with quite a big depth, and in another continent, in another country. So this was, I think you live there. We're going to talk about that later. But my question was, this relationship with Tanzania, is it because of the subject itself, or the country itself is connected to you somehow, or?
Not that I know of, but I think it's more through coincidence. Getting into these shelters was very, very, very hard, and it was also one of the reasons that I almost didn't make the movie. But for some reason, call it luck, call it I don't know. But the person that got me into the shelter, he was here in Netherlands for a couple of days, and I reached out to his organization. And then that he got me in Tanzania. For all I could say, it would have been a place in South Africa or a place in Congo. I don't know where, but it would have brought me somewhere. I wanted to go to Africa. And the teachers told me to make a movie about people with albinism in Netherlands, which I was really against, because that's not going to the source of the problem. That's just like making a very nice portrait of somebody living here and having a good life. But I really want to go to the root of the problem, the mystique of Africa in general, the lawlessness of Africa, and just the culture. It's very interesting culture also, especially for me, who was, you would say that because I'm Black, I would have more correlation to Africa in a sense. But that's not really the case. I think I'm pretty much European. So bringing that Black European eyes to Africa is also a very interesting thing that I like to explore, to see how I look into my eyes, how I see these things that, you know, for some reason, some other Black people would be normal or whatever. So yeah.
Okay, so it was also your first time in Africa,
it was
Tanzania in general.
It was the first time in Africa.
Wow.
So it was a big deal for me. So it was, you know, I was like, you know, let's go. I want to go big.
Yeah. No, then I suggest we revisit this trip. I will pass the short to the audience, and then we will continue the conversation later on.
Great. Did Alex leave?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess there's some problem, right?
I think so. What was the movie playing?
No, I can.
Okay, so it wasn't on. Okay, so I thought it was maybe on my side.
Me too.
I was waiting.
Sorry, technical problems. We'll.
Maybe I was the connection.
Yeah. Technical problems. We'll start now.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Right.
Hope this can take the hit. Okay.
Ana jikasababisha unena na batari bane bakabiza bakari alabo babiza bakari boyo ni dimaruru nuyo yaruru ishure nkona no anja wo gufunzwa batakiraga benekere batari bane masamva kane batakiraga kuri bekiriye nananja kudirira uri kurangwa no mama woni. This story should be told to the world because
It has been century and century, but it was not allowed to talk because it was tribal thinking and it was a hidden agenda. When the situation of people with albinism or the suffering started, children with albinism were taken from the community and sent to the shelters because of protection. So these children, they do not know what outside is it looks. They don't get what other children get. They're living, behind of the world.
Ukanga na kubande mpina nanja kulangwa lulu nu mama kibyala mai ulangwa ukatubu kabejo agi kiki mpaka nuteba nandya mirimo lulu mama ukaya ucha kwanja kubeja shita chaba nukubiza fumu nulangwa nane nulekerwa nu alisata nulumakuru nulumtanuruki alafu umuntu alichola mirimo mfano alichola nurubu diwani nurubu mwenyekiti wa kijiji bizawaeleze shita shakwe tobeja tofanikisha noja hamirimo.
People with albinism are human beings like others. They are not supposed to be hunted. They are not supposed to be kidnapped as well. And they are not supposed to be segregated from their families. They are supposed to live in the community like the way how other people. They are being judged because of their color. As you know how children they are. They cannot fight. They are not able even to confront themselves. So many children with albinism in Africa, they were killed.
Kiji ngambo ko yikwato ki haleba o bulaga kwa hamo imero wenji wa shirebe na shirebe bubu chabali biza bukuliwe jiriene buko tatwa na ki hamo bungi ungale homuntu ayitakira kusanja hamo getishi roko lingana nuko to mabo sange jiwagwa hamo ko bizo buko tabu bupo mo bizo buko tabu kali ukafanikisha.
They want to go home, but no one who is ready to open the gate. The community, is not ready to receive them. The situation not yet clear. At the end of the day, these children, they are growing up, hating the community, hating the family members, that they are being dumped there because of their color. Psychologically, these children, they are being tortured. So they are running, day and night because of their safety. Within these shelters, I'm seeing it as a temporary way, that's fine, but you know, it's not a solution at all.
Welcome back, Almicheal Fraay.
Yes.
It's a very powerful short. Yeah. If this is your graduation documentary, your next movies are quite. Are very, very promising.
I hope so.
in terms of themes and thank you for letting us show the movie here.
Thank you.
I'll pass now to Amércio while I'll quickly watch our chat on YouTube.
Yes, I'm very touched with this movie. It's very, very deep. Congratulations, Almicheal.
Thank you.
Very, very touched. Watching the movie, a question came up. What was when you visited Tanzania? What was the main proposal? The proposal was to make this movie, or the design, the wish came up when you were in Tanzania?
So the funny thing is that the idea that I had going to Tanzania was different than the movie that I made, and that was because we were not supposed to be there. We did not ask the permission from the film board of Tanzania to film there because we knew it was going to be a problem. They would not allow us to film there because it's a very sensitive subject in general. And problems arose when the second time we finished filming, the police found out that we were there. So we had to flee the country. And then I didn't have the film that I had in mind. So I was kind of bummed out. The school found out. The school was very against me going back, and they were very mad at me. But because we had a fundraiser where I had the money and not the producer, because the producer came along afterwards, I said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to take the money and I'm going to go back again and see if I can record some more and make something out of it. When I got there, I could not film anymore there because they were afraid that they would get in trouble. So I didn't want them to get in trouble. so I had to do something else. And for some reason, when I was there was a ceremonial. It was, what's it called again? It was like a ceremonial opening of the what's it called? Something, I don't know. It was ceremonial something, and there were a lot of witch doctors were there. I mean, I have a photo of it. It's pretty much like a soccer field full of witch doctors, and they were doing ceremonial things. And they were like, I remember the guy that was in the movie. He had a chicken with him, a live chicken, and then he bit the chicken. The chicken was bleeding, it was still alive, and then he gave it to somebody else, and they put some powder in it, and then they were shaking it around, and it was wild. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I need this guy. So he was in the car next to me with the chicken still, and I was like, let me record this guy. Maybe he has something to say, and maybe he can give more depth to the whole situation, because I couldn't talk to the children anymore. It was really hard to find other people to talk about it, and this guy was pretty much willing to talk to me about something. And the only thing I'm really bummed out is that I learned a lot, but the main problem was that I knew that he was not telling the truth, and it makes sense because I was recording him. But at least I got a different side of the whole story, and just to give it more, because it was supposed to be like a fly on the wall documentary where I was only going to film the children, no questions asked, just let them doing their daily things and repeating the cycle. But that didn't work out, so we had to make something different. So that's how it all turned out.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the meantime, some comments about the short. Noah, hi Noah, said very powerful film.
Thank you, Noah.
Thanks for sharing. In fact, Noah is a Mozambican living in the Netherlands, which is
okay.
We're doing Iran Men's also our regular viewer. Thanks, gives the congratulations. Very quickly, because we have several, but Dilson, one of the directors we have interviewed, also fascinating documentary. Thank you, Dilson. We also think, and a very quick show of Shortcutz Amsterdam for this feature. Thank you also for sharing, Alex and João. We have some questions. One of the first questions is, why albinism in the first place, from one of our partners? And in the meantime, you also learned about Tanzania, right? Because I think it was the first time you were there.
Yes.
Also, what did you brought from this trip? Yeah.
Yes. So it all started with I think it was in my third year of school. And my mother saw like a clip on CNN. There was a reporter talking about albinism. I don't know which country it was though, but I remember seeing the frame, and it was a guy who was missing a hand, and it was laying on the floor. And my mom told me, like, because I really like talking about social subjects, that it might be something interesting for me to do when I have time. And I was like, yeah, maybe I'll see. It was really difficult at the time. And then I had to graduate. And I was thinking to myself, because I know I'm graduating, I know that whatever I'm going to make is going to get a lot of publicity because of my graduation film. And what kind of subject needs that light that can focus more on this subject? So for some reason, it came up to me again. And then I did some research. I was like, oh, well, and I was looking there, and there was a lot of things I didn't know about this whole problem. And that's how it kind of like, it was a very interesting thing to, how do I say this? It's very frustrating to know that when you were born, if somebody doesn't like the way you were born, then you're pretty much screwed. And it's really unfair, because like that's how you were born. That's how things are. You can't change that. Exactly. And it really struck a nerve with me, because it was something also to do with skin color, being black, being white, or whatever. it's just how you're born, and you have to deal with it. And if people don't like you, well, that's that you're kind of screwed. But for them, it was kind of double because a lot of people coming from Africa, they had the problem in Europe, but these people are having the same problem, but they're in their own country where they're supposed to feel safe, or like these people really already like they know how racism works. So it's really strange to see them doing it to their own people in that kind of way. And I get it in a sense. I get that everybody's a victim here. Like the guy we're talking to, he fell a victim to like these suppositions and this make believe, for me at least, about ghosts or whatever, and that his grandmother was teaching him all these things. I'm like, I mean, that's not the way to do it, And in a situation where you have nothing, it makes sense to be radical and to make decisions that maybe they're not correct. But at the end of the day, you have to you have children or whatever. You have to make money. You have to buy food. You have to have a housing, all those things. So you can go really deep with it, and I was really curious to see how that would affect me personally, because the movie wasn't really just about making the movie by itself, but it was also trying to see how would it affect me, how would it change me, and how would I use what it affected me to make, maybe teach me how to make movies in a certain way, or to look things a certain way, and to bring more nuance in the subjects that I want to discuss, because it's not black and white. I like to be in that gray area, So yeah, that's what got me subject of the albinism. And Tanzania was a lovely country. I made a lot of good friends there. I still have contact with them, with the people at my hotel. They email me, I'm like, how are you doing? Or all those things. And I just love talking to about like the food that I had there and everything, and the culture. I remember I was there for, in total, I think almost 2 months. And I learned like a lot of like languages, even from the children. They were teaching me like how to write or how to like spell words, and I was teaching them how to like talk in English and everything. So even though it was like really hard, I tried to see the brighter things there, and the way, especially the Western light towards Africa, is usually negative. So I was trying to figure it out, like I was kind of scared going there, so like what I'm going to find, who's going to be there, all those things. And there was still a lot of beauty. Like I even went to Serengeti, like seeing all these animals there, the people there. I learned a lot to look both ways. That's pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I have the feeling that you had an idea that this issue was quite serious, but the moment you got there and you met the people and you visited the center, you understood how serious it really was. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing was also like I was reading all these things back home, and when I got there, all those stories that I was reading, I became part of that. Like I was physically there, seeing things that I was reading back home. So that really like enhanced the experience for me to be like, whoa, this is something that I went to. Like a lot. Like and like if I didn't want to make the movie, I shouldn't have to make the movie. Like it's nobody told me to make the movie. I was very curious to see like how can I tell this story through my eyes, and pretty much that.
No, I understand. I just sharing some quick messages, also particularly from Kayla. A lot of stigma and efforts. Also currently in Mozambique, she continues. Reality of other African countries, not just Tanzania. So the use of organs for witchcraft and other stigma. I'm going to quickly make a jump to Mozambique in our conversation. Very, very quickly. We have talked in the meantime with an association dedicated to albino people with in Mozambique, in fact. And what we got from them, the name is Moz. So what we got is, it was in fact a they are working a very tight budget, and I think in Mozambique things are a bit less developed in Tanzania for support. So this is just this is a project which is currently happening. They're opening currently, in fact, a small TV on Facebook. They wish to, in terms of next projects, they wish also to create a more strong support platform in Mozambique. So the idea here is to show that in case you are Mozambique, in case you're interested, a way to reach out to them is, I think, through Facebook, albimoz.org. So you can, just for the audience, you can also act directly and get to know this this association. Yeah, but coming back to our conversation, So I was curious about some things. For example, I know that you didn't spend these 2 months in the center. I think
No,
you were probably
going up and down.
back and forth. I was curious about the footage. Was all this made, all these images from you, from your trip,
Yes,
or
everything I did myself.
Wow.
Because the thing was I was gonna bring, I did an internship with a camera guy, and the problem was there, because we're gonna go guerrilla style, I didn't want to bring too much attention to my crew. So the problem was he was white, and he was very white. So I was like, okay, we need to figure something out. Then also the thing was that he just got a child, so he was kind of like being precautious about the whole situation, not knowing what's going to be there. So like, you know what? I'll do it myself then. So me and a friend of mine, Festus, he's a graduate. I think he graduated 1 year before me at the same school, and he was my sound guy. He's from, if I'm correct, he is from, I think he's from, Congo. Yeah, I think a neighboring country. I just know that he's familiar with Africa in general. And then he went with me there, and then we did everything, just me and him.
Yep. Well, it's amazing because it feels like it's a combination of different footage, also image and sound, all from you, or
everything's from me. Everything.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything.
I'll let Imercio ask also questions on the shortcut itself.
Michael, and I love the handheld style of camera.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, and your style, about your style, I saw that is the doc. Would you like to continue making docs, or you identify yourself making documentaries, or it just was the situation that obliged you to make that journey of movie, or you want to make another journeys?
I want to make a longer version of a subject with albinism. I'm currently trying to get it off the ground, but Corona is being a really big problem right now. But then again, I don't know if these people are really affected to it. But then again, I don't want to bring anything to them, so I don't want to be the problem there either way. But I hope I can make a longer version, but not in the shelters, because the shelter's going to be a pain in the ass for me. But there's an island on the Victoria Lake, and I think like 30% of the people living there are refugees, albino refugees who live on the island, and it's pretty much like in between a shelter and being out there, because I think it's like a 3-hour boat trip to the island, and it's the boat doesn't always go back, or doesn't always go to the island. It's very sporadic timing wise, so it's really hard for you to get on the island. And if you want to hurt somebody on the island, it's really hard to get off the island. So it's pretty much like a prison island for them. They're just pretty much like waiting until they die, pretty much. So I hope I can do that. But now I have to focus primarily on doing some things in Netherlands, like I said, through the COVID. But I'm gonna keep continuing making documentaries. That's for sure. And I'm also trying to see if I can get some, if I can write, or at least I'm doing some research for a fiction film. So let's see how that turns out.
Okay.
Do you need any type of license to be in this island? Because I think
no, that's a good thing about it. It's just an island, so I can just. How we got in Tanzania was we were tourists. Like a good thing about that was like I still have I think I still have it somewhere. I have my my school badge, and it doesn't have like expiration date. It just says my name and the school that I'm going to. So that's something I use to like frequently just go up and down. People ask me questions like, I'm a student here. I'm just recording things. I'm going to go to Serengeti. That's why I have a camera with me, all those things. And when I go to the island, it's going to be an island. If the people want me to record them, I mean, they can decide. There's no government like telling them you cannot do that. So I'm much more free to go much deeper. I can stay much longer in a location. And I also know that the hotel where I used to stay, it's like, I think it's like 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from the port. So it's a really nice way to go up and down and stay in there for a longer period of time to like really get like really deep into the issue.
Is it still Tanzania, let us say, area, or because Lake Victoria divides in
exactly? So it's
3 countries. Yeah,
that's true. I'm not sure. I just know that I can take the boat to the island.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, it's for sure a very interesting project. I had no idea this island in fact existed.
Yeah, I was just looking up, and then I just found it. Like, holy! It was crazy to think that's a whole island like almost dedicated to just people with albinism. It's pretty sad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure.
I do have a different question. I'm very curious. Sometimes it's a personal question. When I got on your Vimeo account, I saw a statement saying, "I'm a filmmaker until I get the real job." I wonder, will you give up, make movies one day?
No, like I said that because that's all I know how to do. It's that. Like, there's no option. There's no option B for me. It's this or nothing. So I was like, you know what? A lot of people don't really think it's a job, or you cannot make a lot of money with it. I'm like, I don't do it for the money. I'm trying to make movies. That's all I want to do. So if you like it, you know, you like it. But that's a good thing. Good find. That's an old one. I think I put that one back. I think during college, I was just messing around. I was like, let's see how it turns out. So
it got my attention. So what?
Yes. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. In the meantime, Kayla has one question. We already talked about this, but in terms of what changed after this documentary? So the main changes after finishing. So not just this question, but there's also another question, which is, I know this movie has been, in several festivals. It has gained a lot of, just in terms of importance, this movie for you. What are the main takes that you take after doing it and after like touring it? What has changed or what has not changed from your initial? I know it's a long question, but
a lot has changed. I mean, a lot has changed, but a lot did not change at the same time because of COVID. I remember I got pushed through. There was a program with ITFA and the television networks here to do like a children's documentary, and there were like different kind of people got together, young people, me and some. I think I was the only guy, and there were 4 or 5 other girls. We're also gonna make like a documentary around children, and that was because of the movie, because they were very interesting in the way I was filming, and maybe I can do something else. But because of COVID, it didn't work out. Then I just recently, I think it was in September, I made a short. They asked me to make a short. It's a series from also television, where it's called Nog een week. It means till a week, and then in that week, it's a countdown pretty much, and then it's in that period of time, you record a child who has is gonna do something like big for him. Let's say it's a refugee, and the first one's gonna swim, and then in that week you count down until that moment. And then they asked me to do it, and then I made a short documentary episode of a child. That's also because of the movie, my graduation movie. And I got into contact with a lot of like producers, other directors, other camera people, and there are a lot of people pushing me to do other things. But the problem right now is I'm very busy with my photography work. So I need to tone down the photography and push up the filmmaking, because it's kind of getting in the way right now. So yeah, I just need to
prioritize.
Yeah, I need to push. I need to push more into making more movies. So pretty much that. Yeah, and what I mean. And I think what the movie also changed about me is that it pretty much cemented for me that this is what I want to do. Like the whole traveling was so fun, like meeting new cultures, meeting new people, thinking thinking like how to get away out of problems and making the best of it, going with the flow. Just the whole process of everything, talking to people, meetings. Discussing about the ideas that you have, and some of them working, some of them not working. That whole aspect of it was like for me, like that's it. That's for me. That's how it's gonna be for me. So, yeah.
No, that's great. So it just reinforced your let us say your idea and your drive into the industry. I was quickly thinking about the editing process, because
just give me a second, because my battery's dying. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Yeah. In the meantime, for our viewers, I know the majority are in fact in Portuguese, but you can visit Almicheal's website. He'll talk a bit about it later, but you can visit his mainly his photographic work. Some of them, in fact, it's museums. If you go into the website, you'll see some museums here in the Netherlands that he photographed the audience. And for the video work, you can also visit his Instagram, where he's more active currently regarding video work. Yeah, so we leave here the invitation. Yeah. Sorry, Mercy, very quickly, in Mozambique, does the situation, people with albino or the albinism in Mozambique, does it show on national television, or is it a theme that comes up, or more during elections, or just to get your... Was this a new theme for you also?
Unfortunately, it's not new. There is many information. Many times they show up in TV. Speaking about the Albans, they are a province here in Mozambique that they kidnap albino people to make a black magic. They cut them. There is, but now it changed. Thank God, now it's changed. They don't speak too much about it now. I guess there was a change. The policies, the government, they took action against it. But there was a time that it happens a lot. For me, it's not new. Yeah, it's a very sad situation.
Which part of the country are you?
I heard more about it in Nampula. Yes, I guess Nampula. Yeah.
On the north.
Yeah, Nampula.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my apologies.
Yep.
This is not how I wanted things to go. Okay, here we go. Much better.
We just showed your both your Instagram, Almicheal.
Yes.
For people to visit more on their video work, and also your website. It's more photography related.
Yes.
But yeah, I did recognize several of the locations because they are very known museums. So it's interesting.
Yes.
It's interesting to see. From the point of view of the viewers, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you back in the day, didn't you make the pictures of Shortcutz?
Sorry.
Didn't you take pictures of Shortcutz back in the day?
No, not me.
Okay, I thought it was you.
No. I'm more on the sponsoring team in Shortcutz Amsterdam. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, we have some more minutes to finalize the show. I think we can maybe. I have some notes here, but maybe one last burning question, Emercio, for Michael while we still have him.
I don't have any questions now. I'm just waiting for Almicheal to visit Mozambique and we make some.
Yes, I hope so. I want to go back. I want to go. So yeah.
Yeah, will be easy. I will show you many places. Culture.
Now it is easy because that was the main problem also with the subject, that I didn't know people in Africa. So when I got to know people, it was much easier because people could show you where to go, and now it's like, the door's open, so let's go.
And it's from Tanzania. It's just the country. It's just the neighboring country, right? So,
exactly. So it's really close.
Very close. From flying to Tanzania, I guess 1 hour or a little bit less than it. Yeah.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I was quickly asking. We still have some minutes. You spent 2 months in Tanzania, so I think to edit this short, you put it down to 8 minutes, right? Was it complicated or was it just very simple? Because I'm more inclined towards the first one, complicated. But
it was a hell. I think I lost, if I'm correct, 2 editors because of the whole situation. They could not do what I wanted to do. So I had to find another editor, and then thank God I found Laura. She's from Doppler, Maarten Groen, which also has he has a few wings of Shortcutz. He's a good friend of mine, and then he told me, like, if you need anything, just ask me, and then I was like, I need an editor, I need somebody to fix this mess because I have no idea what to do with it, because at that point we only had the images and we had no storyline, we had no beats, and he was like, what, I can give you her, and then he gave me her for 3 days, and then she was really professional. She thinks she wrote me down 3 ideas of how the documentary could fold out. The 3 different ways of editing, and then with the whole background story of like what I was gonna say and everything. And I'm like, what? I'm just very professional. I really like this, and then we chose something, and then she just went on with it, and then she made this. So I was really happy with her.
Yeah.
So but it was very difficult.
Yeah. So you, from these 2 other editors, you saw their work, and you just.
No, it was not. It was not their fault. It was not their fault. It was just what I wanted, and let's say there were 2 main problems: what I wanted and what we had. And for some reason, Laura combined both of them, and the other editors was only pretty much what was there. And I wanted to make something more of it, and then she made that. So she made it like really my movie. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a very smooth documentary as it flows. Also, the storyline, the interview to the witch doctor, right? It's just a small comment on. I saw the Van Persie shirt. I think that was a bit of referencing a bit to the Netherlands. Just a very, very quick.
Van Persie.
Yeah. I saw it on the documentary, so I thought it was maybe a quick touch to the fact that you're coming from the Netherlands, or
yes, it was everybody has a reaction when they see that, and because it's such a it's in Netherlands we call it ver van je bed show. So it's pretty much like it's a story, but it's like it's so far away from you that you cannot resonate with it. So I want to bring something from Netherlands to that story, only if it was a fraction, to make a little bit more like relatable. I mean, like that to show like even though the world is big, it's at the same time it's very small. Like for me, it was a surprise seeing that for Bessie shirt getting there. Like we're talking about like this big ass player in the Netherlands and all around the world. And every time there were screenings, a lot of people like were laughing when they saw that, or they made a reaction like, "Hey, And it's really something like maybe I can grab them and push them a little bit more deeper into the story to me, like, you know what? Even though it's shit happening in Africa, it's I think it's more like a global thing. Like we all can do something about it, and every small impact has maybe a big outcome. So that's why I wanted to put it inside there.
No, for sure. Yeah, I think Immersive knows Van Persie is a big player here, or was a big player, or is. No, was.
He still is. He still is.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he is
a big player here in the Netherlands. So he was. I was not expecting to see a shirt, but
and even when I was recording, I was like, wait a minute.
True. No, we are a bit out of time at the moment. I think we've got several requests to. We're going to talk with Michael later, but maybe we can find some Portuguese subtitles for this short and to pass on to other locations in the country in Mozambique. But we can talk about that later.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it was a wonderful show. I think we learned a lot of things, not just from Tanzanian albinism, but also from filmmaking. Thank you, Michael, for coming in, saving the time for us. Yeah. Any last words, Immersive?
I mean, thank you for having me, and I hope till next time.
Yeah, we'll do more soon than you expect.
I hope.
And maybe you'll pay a visit to Mozambique also.
Yes. Another project.
Okay, I will see you next time, everyone. Also to the audience. I think next movie will be in, if I'm not mistaken, Portugal. It's a Portuguese movie, but we'll confirm that through Facebook. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next broadcast of Moz Monday Movies. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.